What's that?
This is a diagnostic image of your heart. This is an image that was produced by a diagnostic imaging machine called a gamma camera. It shows us far more than an X-ray ever could. It's a three-dimensional scan of your heart. There's a lot of information here about your heart's efficiency. Remember when we spoke about nuclear medicine diagnostic procedures?
Oh, right. It was that radio stuff they put in my body before I had my scan.
That's it, Susan. That radio stuff is known as a radioisotope that we can inject into your body and use as a tracer to diagnose things like heart problems, tumors, and other illnesses in the body. By absorbing the tracer, it shows us just how an organ functions. That kind of information can't be detected by an X-ray.
That means I'm now radioactive. Isn't that dangerous?
No, Susan, you're not radioactive.
These questions you just heard from this patient are very common. So just what is nuclear medicine and where does it come from? Well, you may be surprised, but it all starts in nuclear reactors. Hello, I'm Ken Shaw. I'd like to share with you a little-known but important Canadian success story that began many decades ago. Something special that we as Canadians can celebrate and be very proud of. Nuclear medicine is now used in over 100 different types of diagnostic procedures and medical therapies for cancer detection, heart and organ function, lung capacity, bone density, and thyroid conditions. On any given day, about 50,000 nuclear medicine procedures are performed around the world. But now, let me show you where it all started. This is the site of the Chalk River Laboratories on the shore of the Ottawa River in northeastern Ontario. Here, radioisotopes are produced in a nuclear reactor that creates energy by splitting or fission of uranium atoms. That same technology that produces all that energy has the additional benefit of creating certain radioisotopes that have tremendous value in modern medicine. These facilities are operated by Atomic Energy of Canada Limited, or AECL. Today, these reactors help save lives by producing radioisotopes for medical uses around the world. In fact, Canada produces about 60% of the world's supply of medical isotopes. Radioisotopes are atomic elements that become radioactive in the nuclear reactor. While all radioactive substances must be treated with caution, of course, radioisotopes have properties that make them ideal for health care. A key property is safety to the patient. Radioisotopes are completely flushed out of the body shortly after they have done their job. When used for medical diagnostics or therapy, radioisotopes are often called radiopharmaceuticals, a fancy name for a leading-edge kind of medical tool. When taken by the patient, radiopharmaceuticals travel to specific areas of the body and give off energy that can be detected and viewed by gamma cameras. The images produced help doctors determine diagnosis and treatment. This is an AECL reactor, which has been in service for over 4 decades and is still producing vital radioisotopes. With continuing technological advancements coupled with the increased need for radioisotopes worldwide, Canada recognized its responsibility to meet a growing demand. As a result, 2 new reactors and a processing facility have been built here at the Chalk River Labs. The new reactors, called Maple 1 and 2, are dedicated to the production of medical radioisotopes. The term half-life refers to the time it takes for isotopes to lose half of their energy. Key medical radioisotopes lose their strength very rapidly and must therefore be delivered to the patient soon after coming out of the reactor. One such radioisotope, called molybdenum-99, or Moly for short, is the most common medical isotope. Let's follow Moly on the path from its creation to the patient. Well, it's now 7:10 a.m. Monday, and Moly is being created in the reactor. Moly has a half-life of only 66 hours, meaning that it loses half of its strength in less than 3 days. After that, it is much less effective for patient diagnosis because it would be too weak to be detected properly by the gamma camera. Partnerships play an important role in nuclear medicine. One key player is MDS Nordion, a leading health and science company based in Ottawa. AECL, together with MDS Nordion, have developed a sophisticated just-in-time process that supplies nuclear medicine products to radiopharmaceutical companies. From there, the products are distributed to hospitals and clinics around the world. These radioactive isotopes are shipped daily inside special flasks that are almost indestructible and can withstand drops, impacts, and fire. Safe handling of radioactive products is a top priority throughout the entire production and distribution process. Now, Molly is on the truck heading to MDS Nordion. On arrival, Molly is then refined into a purer form. Then it is subjected to a thorough quality analysis process for medical uses. Once all the shipping orders and documents are ready, it is back on the road again, this time to the Ottawa airport and then on to radiopharmaceutical companies. With the short half-life of many radioisotopes, shipping logistics are critical. There is little room for delay at any step.
This is a typical site. Planes arriving at all hours delivering life-saving cargo. Well, it's 5:18 a.m. on Tuesday here at the clinic, and Molly has just arrived on time, although it could be any hospital or clinic anywhere in the world. Once Molly gets to the hospital, it is separated into a byproduct called technetium-99m. With a half-life of only a few hours, this technetium lives just long enough to produce diagnostic images, but then disappears from the patient's body. In addition to Molly, there are other highly effective radiopharmaceuticals, such as iodine-131, used for the treatment of thyroid problems, and xenon-133, used for lung ventilation study. While most nuclear products are used in diagnosis, they also have important treatment applications, especially in fighting cancer.
Remember our patient, Susan? Her technetium, the byproduct of Molly, was carefully measured out by technicians prior to her arrival and made into a safe injectable liquid. In addition to treating scheduled patients like Susan, nuclear medicine can be used in emergency situations, such as diagnosing severe chest pain or gastrointestinal bleeding, providing immediate answers. Well, it's 8:10 a.m. by my watch, just about 26 hours since Molly was created. And now this radiopharmaceutical is at work, traveling through her bloodstream to the targeted areas of her body. Some radioisotopes go to work almost immediately, while others take time for the diagnostic properties to take effect inside the patient. The next step in the process is the actual picture taking or scan. At this point, an image is created using the gamma camera, which homes in on the radiopharmaceutical in the patient's body, producing a three-dimensional color image. Research continues to find new applications for nuclear medicine. One such procedure is called TheraSphere from MDS Nordion. It is bringing new hope to liver cancer patients. From creation in nuclear reactors, the purification process, shipping and distribution, and on to the final use in the patient, the nuclear medicine story is fascinating. Doctors around the world agree that nuclear medicine is now mainstream and that it holds tremendous potential for the future. Nuclear medicine is a Canadian success story we can all be proud of. It is safe, painless, and often prevents the need for exploratory surgery. What's more, nuclear medicine saves the lives of tens of thousands of people around the world every year.
Nuclear medicine provided me with a really unique opportunity, a directed treatment for my cancer, and an opportunity to move on and really do the things I wanted to do in rowing and in life, and do it in such a way that didn't really impact negatively on my training. I had a real opportunity to stay at the same level of elite competition and go into the Olympics and represent my country, represent Canada as an athlete, and feel really proud of that experience.